AI chip startup D-Matrix has created an AI accelerator that blows Nvidia's GPUs out of the water, at least according to the startup's own charts. Nvidia says the cannonball missed entirely. I'm Riley Murdoch, this is TechLinked, and this is the D-Matrix Corsair C8. No, Corsair the company is involved, and it's allegedly 9 times faster than Nvidia's flagship H100 GPU in generative AI workloads, and 27 times faster than the A100. It was actually created by asking an AI to design the perfect chip. That's a lie. The C8's secret sauce is its digital in-memory computer, or DIMC architecture, designed to mitigate issues that arise with LLMs running on normal GPUs, as well as its 256 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, enough to hold an entire AI model in memory. Their technology was apparently impressive enough to earn D-Matrix $110 million in funding last week, which sounds like nothing to me because I'm desensitized, from companies like Microsoft, who are willing to pay ridiculous amounts of money to watch Nvidia win the blue ribbon at a humble pie eating contest. The funding D-Matrix has been able to raise is doubly impressive since Nvidia's massive success in the AI chip market has been starving competing startups of potential funding, as VCs have been seeing young startups as a riskier bet than simply making a mint for merely the price of increasing Jensen Huang's leather jacket allowance. But I don't know, it seems like Jensen may have to downgrade to pleather? They might be pleather already. It's so good now.
They've gotten really good.
Google will face the start of a 4-month-long trial in the US tomorrow over their position as the dominant search engine in the country. This lawsuit is the combination of 2 separate complaints, one filed by the Department of Justice and another filed by the Attorneys General of 35 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, and Guam that have merged together like a Voltron formed by combining a bunch of boring text-heavy papers collated by overworked paralegals. It's not a very good Voltron. According to Bill Bayer, who used to head the DOJ's antitrust division, the result of this trial will have significant implications for other powerful tech firms, who may have to now deal with, so many more emails. Companies like Apple and Mozilla, who are paid to set Google as the default search engine in their products, could also be harmed for the crime of helping out a friend for massive sums of money. Even worse for Apple, 3 of their executives may have to miss the launch of the iPhone 15 to act as key witnesses in the trial, which is just inhumane. That's like their Comic-Con. WhatsApp is preparing to add the capability to send and receive messages from other chat apps thanks to the European Union's Digital Markets Act, which puts strong regulations on companies large enough to meet the law's definition of gatekeeper. And this may seem counterintuitive, but Meta fits the bill. As a gatekeeper, Meta will be subject to many requirements, such as having to make out with Rick Moranis to release Gozer. That is a Ghostbusters reference that Jacob wrote that I do not understand.
Deep cut.
More relevant, however, is the requirement that any company with a messaging app that has over 45 million active users, or about 10% of the EU's population, must make said messaging app interoperable with other apps. WA Beta Info, a apparently WhatsApp-specific news site, uncovered evidence of WhatsApp's future compatibility in their newest update in the Google Play Beta program, which shows a dedicated section of the app for third-party chats. Meanwhile, Apple is claiming that iMessage doesn't have the required 45 million active users and thus does not need to be interoperable. They claim further that now is a great time to buy beachfront properties in Idaho to escape the US's flying pig epidemic.
No, really, guys, we suck.
We wish more people loved us, but we're not that cool. Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Moosend, the service that will put your email marketing woes out to pasture. Here we go. With Moosend, you can create utterly beautiful and effective email campaigns using customizable templates and personalized dynamic elements. And after you've launched your campaign, calculate your next steps with their advanced analytical tools. What are you waiting for? Get a move on and follow the link below to try Moosend free for 30 days. I don't think that they have that many puns on their site, if that helps. Okay, and next we'll add the quick bits to the batter. Remember, if you don't have time to quicken your own bits, then store-bought is fine. LG has unveiled a massive 118-inch micro-LED TV. That's a whole 1.6 Riley Murdochs long. Jacob wrote that. I don't know if it's true.
It's a new standard unit.
Did he measure me? The new Magnet with an I television has a 120 hertz refresh rate and a level of power consumption meant to show polar bears who's boss.
When you turn it on, the lights in the neighbor's house flicker.
Not that it matters, because none of us plebs are likely to buy one, if only because it costs nearly $250,000, which around here is a down payment on a house. That story got depressing.
In a bad part of town.
Yeah. Help. Apple's plan to rely entirely on itself for its own devices' chips apparently isn't going so well, as Qualcomm just announced it would continue supplying the iPhone maker with 5G modems into 2026. Because no cultish tech giant with a gigantic circular headquarters is an island. Qualcomm CEO said he expected Apple to make their own modems by 2024, so I'm sure he's thankful for the extra revenue, especially as Qualcomm also just announced they'd be heavily investing in RISC-V, an alternative CPU architecture to ARM, the company who is currently suing Qualcomm. It's never a good thing when tech industry news sounds like a Gossip Girl column, which is actually very often. Patent company, and occasional game publisher, Nintendo has filed another patent, this time for joysticks that hopefully don't suck harder than your dad's prized vacuum cleaner.
Or harder than your dad.
Accessibility consultant and thrice first named person Laura Kate Dale claimed on Twitter the proposed joysticks should end analog stick drift in Nintendo's next console. Instead of using Hall effect joysticks like everyone wants, Nintendo has come up with their own solution using magnetoreological fluid that varies in viscosity as magnetic field intensity changes. That sounds amazing. I mean, of course, why use a successful pre-existing technology when you can own a technology that relies on magic goo? Dell has teamed up with the University of Limerick in Ireland to research cancer treatments using AI, despite warnings from experts about the risk of creating robot cancer.
I lost my Roomba to robot cancer.
The project will use digital twin technology, which creates digital models of physical things, like in this case, tumors, to improve biomarker testing and better predict treatment outcomes. Meanwhile, Microsoft has also partnered with medical tech company Paige to build the world's largest image-based AI model for faster diagnosis. Because, I mean, the least AI could do is help cure cancer while it's transforming the internet into hot garbage soup. And Sony is launching a foster care program for its aging robo-dogs. The program will allow users who've canceled the cloud plan for their ERS 1000 IBO robots to donate them for rehoming as patient companions at medical facilities and nursing homes. The robots simulate the love of an actual animal by responding to voice and touch and even recognizing specific people. It's just like adopting a real dog, except that some of them will be gutted for spare parts and used to repair the others. And we'll be equally gutted if you don't come back on Wednesday for more Tech Linked.